welcome back to Coffee with Kim and Hills. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How was your morning?
It was a little crazy. I had some mama drama.
What happened?
I had childcare. I actually have 3 amazing babysitters that I, rotate. And it's always good to have backup. You know what I mean?
You always need backup.
You always need backup.
You always need backup.
My husband and I don't have any family here, so having babysitters we can count on is really important.
Yes.
And the babysitter I had to back out last minute. It was not their fault. But then my other 2, it was 2 last minute. They were not available. So I was scrambling. There was almost a baby on set, a wild baby on set.
Which would have been fine, but it makes things a little bit tougher to concentrate, for sure.
It would have been very hard to concentrate. Oh my gosh. But yes, I luckily, and I'm so thankful that I had a friend that lived close by who had a sitter, and that sitter was available. And she came in and saved the day, and I adore her as well. I was like,
wonderful.
Can I keep you?
Can you come all the time here?
And can you live here, please? I'll cook for you, I swear. So yeah, it was a lot. But now I feel very good being here. A cup of coffee.
I'm glad it worked out.
Yes.
It's always nice, yes.
Chat.
Exactly.
And have our morning. So we've got some topics that we're gonna dive right into.
Hot.
All right, the first article we are going to be diving into is Inside Madonna's Global Real Estate Portfolio.
So according to Architectural Digest, she has quite the international portfolio of real estate properties, which is kind of
make everyone jealous.
I mean, who's surprised that the Material Girl has scooped up real estate over the last 30 years?
Nobody's surprised.
Nobody.
But now
she's a smart cookie, that Madonna, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of her investments were made through property, which is great because she reaps the benefit off of it. And then when she's like, I'm done here, she's been selling them for even more money, millions of dollars more, and then just moving on to the next, big. Okay, so let's just go over where she owns property, and it's multiple homes in each of these places as well. Some of them at least, according to this article.
Yeah.
We have London, Beverly Hills, New York City, Miami, the Hamptons, and Lisbon. She's fancy.
She is fancy. That is true.
Yep. So, okay, let's talk about her New York experience, because I've lived in New York.
Maybe a little bit different than your New York real estate experience?
Yeah, I've literally lived in a shoe. I was paying, for the average person, a lot of money to live in that shoe. It was a loft. It was in a brownstone, which is cute. And that's, it's rare to find a brownstone to live in that you can afford. But the reason I could afford it was because you walked in and the kitchen and the living room were all kind of combined. And then you had to climb up these little stairs into a teeny tiny loft that you couldn't stand up in. And my husband and I and my 2 cats, we lived in that together for a while, and we didn't kill each other, and that's when we decided we should get married, because we're like, if we can, it was basically like living in a sailboat, a very small sailboat.
Yes, if you can survive that living situation, I think marriage, you're good.
I mean, the 2 cats were worse. I was like, it's like a zoo. You don't want the litter box right there, you know what I mean? Across from the stove. It's not cute. But, okay, so let's talk about Madonna's situation. She listed her New York City duplex overlooking Central Park. All New Yorkers are at $23.5 million, which I thought was a lot until I continued reading the article, and she bought her mega mansion on the Upper East Side for $40 million. 40 million?
Yeah.
I didn't know there were mega mansions that existed in New York City.
Apparently it's 3 houses that have been combined into one huge
kind of
space.
3 brownstones that you just take.
3 brownstones that they had taken I don't know if they took the inner walls out, but because they're probably foundational or structural.
I'm sure she reconfigured it.
But I'm sure she reconfigured it. Yeah.
She could figure it out.
I mean,
she's like, I want that structural wall down. They'll be like, anything for you, Madonna.
Right. They're like, we're going to put in a huge beam and it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be a decorative beam, don't you worry. gold encrusted and everything. So
I think one of the most interesting ones for me was one of her Hollywood Hills homes that she bought, and it had been owned by multiple people, like
big names,
big
celebrities,
names.
yeah.
Paul McCartney,
That's
Ringo
right.
Starr had all lived there or stayed there at some point.
Yeah.
She has since sold that as well. But I just think it's really interesting. Like, people say that there's not a lot of history in California because it's this much younger state, but it is really cool when you get to see these properties, especially in the LA area, that have been used by so many names that you just know.
Right. And it's like all of the celebrities just like tag, you're
Yeah, right.
Tag, you're, I guess they're the only ones that can afford it, right? But
Yeah, I guess
it's just not, I think her Beverly Hills one had 14 bathrooms.
Yes.
No one has to pee that bad. No one.
She bought it from The Weeknd.
Oh, that's right.
Her
That's
most
right.
recent one she had bought from The Weeknd.
Oh, it's just out of control, especially when you're not a huge family, like soccer team size. I get it if you have a soccer team living there. 14 bathrooms might make sense. But if you're like a family of 2 or 3, how many kids does she have? 1, right? 1 or 2?
I think she has like 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Still,
But I think older, I don't think many of them are
they're
still
not
at the
still
house.
at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I always kind of wonder. I mean, okay, this is how I can justify it in my head for celebrities, like feeling like they need that much space, is that they probably, they don't have a lot of privacy,
Right.
so they don't get to get out. So if they can buy a home that has everything in it, they have the movie theater, they have, the bowling alley. She had a bowling alley. The tennis courts, the pool, and stuff
Right.
like that. They can kind of do all of the things we would be doing out in public
Yes.
in their home. And I feel like if it was smaller, they'd feel, confined a little bit. And,
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. I just I think I look at these properties, and I also love watching property shows and
Same.
$1 million
They're so
listing,
addictive,
et cetera, et cetera. And you just look at the square footage of these houses, and my mind automatically goes to, who wants to clean that much space? And then you realize, okay, if you're
They have
buying a
people.
$40 million house or whatever, somebody else is cleaning them.
You have a
cleaning it. Yeah,
landscaper.
exactly.
You have
a staff.
pool person.
Right. But
You're not doing that.
yeah, but to your point, and I think that probably is why celebrities do buy such big properties, is because they don't have a lot of privacy. You can't just go, maybe you can go to a bowling alley, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same experience that you or I have.
Right, exactly. You'd have to shut down the bowling alley to
Right.
go to the bowling alley with people that you care about.
Right.
And this way, it's like, I guess you can bring literally everyone to you comfortably,
Yeah.
and they can all stay there.
Right.
And you can have a whole event. So I guess I get it, and I'm sure it just becomes your norm as well. You're used to it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is my life.
Used to those creature comforts.
Exactly. I thought it was when my husband and I, as I've talked about a lot, we recently bought a house, for the first time. We've always lived in apartments.
Yeah.
And our house is small, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but it's small. And I was really stressed out about cleaning it because I'm so used to,
Yeah. The smaller
teeny
space.
tiny
Yeah.
apartment. Yeah.
Totally.
And, we do it ourselves. And it's just a teeny tiny house. So yeah, I get it. If you can hire help, that's very different.
Yes.
And Madonna can hire help.
Yes.
Wait, you have to tell everybody what your favorite Madonna song is and why.
Okay, well, it's actually a very long story why it's my favorite one. I'm going to date myself a little bit here. But my favorite Madonna song is Like a Prayer. It is also my
good one.
go-to karaoke song. I have several, but that is my number one.
I didn't know that you frequented karaoke.
Oh, we have a
Bars.
karaoke machine.
Oh,
at
you
our
have your
house.
own karaoke machine.
Oh, yes. Apparently, I have celebrity status in that respect because we invite people into our space to do karaoke. For
I like
sure.
that. I like that. Well, now, they'll have karaoke that you can actually rent, like the little individual rooms, right?
Yes.
Which I think is kind of cool.
That
because,
is really fun.
Like, when it's just, you're exposed to the whole bar and you're just listening to all of these people like a virgin, you know, like doing their thing. And
Exactly. Exactly.
I like the private rooms. I think that's kind of cool.
Well, and if you go with like a good sized group but not too big, then everybody gets a chance to go more and more often. You know, you're not waiting for 40 people to go before you can sing again.
Right.
I've also had instances where my sister also really likes to karaoke. Actually, fun fact, we had a Laserdisc machine growing up, which we used to do family karaoke nights growing up.
Oh, this is in your blood.
Oh, yes. So we all my family likes to sing. Not that we're good, but like, we just enjoy doing it.
Yes.
And my sister, who actually is a pretty good singer, is really into karaoke. And there have been instances where at a karaoke bar, maybe somebody wasn't doing the job singing that she thought that they should be doing.
Oh, no.
And so she's taking
Karaoke
the mic
shaming.
out of their hand to finish their song for them.
Oh, wow. That is a confident move there. That is hilarious.
There may or may not have been alcohol involved.
I would say, I was like, how many drinks in was she
It
at
was
this
late at
point?
night, but you know.
Yeah, I want to sing. I can do this better than you, and I'll show you right now. Well, I mean, I better get an invite next time we have one of these at-home karaoke nights, but just not if your sisters. Maybe not when your sisters.
Fair enough.
Or I'll just be a bystander. I'm happy. I don't really like singing at karaoke. But I like being in the environment. I like watching. But like, I get really uncomfortable with it. Maybe after a few drinks. When I was younger, I used to do it. I don't know. Who knows? It's been too long.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, but Madonna, definitely, her music is a good go-to karaoke song.
Totally.
Because they're not like, I mean, nowadays, singers and their songs are just like, the range is like out of control and riffing and everything. And no one's going to go to karaoke and have a bunch of drinks and then go up and be like, doing Ariana Grande.
Exactly.
At least they shouldn't.
Yes, exactly. Plus, it's typically good crowd. Plus, they're typically good crowd pleaser songs.
Yes.
So, like,
everyone knows them.
Everybody knows them.
Yep.
You know, you get the crowd involved. It's a good thing.
Yes. Yep, Madonna. Madonna takes us down tangents because, you know, she's been in our lives for a long time, hasn't she?
She definitely has been.
And she is making the big bucks on stage and through real estate.
Yep.
She is
Yeah.
material girl living in the material world. I had to, I'm sorry. All right, on that note, I'm going to take all of us to a commercial break and we will be right back to talk about Hello, welcome back everyone. Before we actually get into our next hot topics, I just wanted to touch on something that we talked about last week, and it was your free at-home COVID test kits that you can now get through your insurance. I didn't realize this, but I just read that now Medicare will be covering those as well this spring. So I can't believe that it wasn't already doing that, or that wasn't a part of it.
Part of that first announcement, but
but it's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to like put that out there so people can, rest assured it's coming. But for our next hot topic, we are going to be talking about 3 steps to make your 2022 your best tax year yet.
I mean, who doesn't want to make
Nobody.
2022 your best tax year yet?
Yeah, and it's only 3 steps.
Right.
How easy is that?
This one's from Entrepreneur Magazine, and I think the first one was to analyze the income you anticipate happening in 2022. So if you feel like you're getting big stock options or a raise or will have more money coming in than you did in 2021, to start to prepay those taxes ahead of time so that you're putting away the money so you're not hit with this huge tax bill come this time next
That's
year.
the worst.
And you're like,
right.
oh, that's a lot more money than I thought.
Yeah,
I was
plan
going to
ahead
owe.
and do the budgeting now. And there might be some little tricks and things that you can do ahead of time rather than waiting till the last minute. The second tip is getting all of your documentation in order.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a business owner, take a look at like mileage, travel expenses, all business related expenses, medical, childcare. Meet with your accountant and make sure that you are, getting all of that together and ready ahead of time or while it's happening, so that it's ready for next tax season.
Yeah.
So that you can really save.
Exactly. Have a system where you're putting all those receipts aside, whether it's just an envelope and they all go in there and then you have them all together for the next year when you actually need to sit down and do them, or if it's, whatever your system is. Maybe you do online receipts only and you just upload them to a specific folder. But I've
been trying to do
receipts.
that now.
That's me.
You do physical?
Yeah.
You still, oh really? I used to do that, but then it was just like,
I know.
Sometimes having the actual tangible, it's like the metaverse that we
Right,
talked about.
exactly.
Like, things to be tangible, not like away. And like
I like to
digital.
read books in tangible books.
I do too. I do too.
Receipts.
It feels more satisfying to read the book rather than on the screen. I agree with that. Yeah, we're right in the middle there, aren't we?
Yep.
Like, I
really
kind of get it, but
back and forth.
I don't know. Okay, the last tip, I was like, I guess this could help some people, but it says to become someone the tax law favors. And I'm like, well, that's probably not an option for a lot of people, but they offer huge tax incentives to business owners, real estate investors, and commodity providers. So if you're able to do that, there will be some good tax incentives.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was just a way for them
Throwing
to
it out there?
yeah, like especially for Entrepreneur Magazine, right? So they're focusing on their audience, which is typically business owners.
Right.
And so that is what, being a business owner, you definitely get some tax incentives, whether, it's a small business or it's actually a bigger corporation.
Totally.
Just making sure that you're taking advantage of all of that.
Well, my husband actually did that. He's an actor. He's, works on Broadway. And a lot of actors do this. They become incorporated. They become their own business so that, they can save on tax.
You can say,
So actually he did take his career and make it a business.
There you go.
I actually had
so
an
he
example of it.
became someone the tax law favors.
Exactly. So if you can, do it, I guess. There you go. And there you have it for Hot Topics.
There you have it.
There you have it. Okay, so you won't want to miss Mortgage Q&A today with AJ because he will be telling you how to shop for the best interest rates. This is key information right now as we are seeing interest rates on the rise. Today on Cunningham Legal, we will learn why retiring in California might be a smart move. When you think of California, you probably think of how expensive it is. But there are some retirement incentives that might just surprise you, and you will learn all about them on today's episode. On Medicare School, Marvin explains how your group plan will work with Medicare if you are still working, and how to avoid mistakes with COBRA if you are leaving a job. It is all very technical and complicated, which is why we are so happy to have Marvin on our channel breaking it down for us. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Coffee with Kem and Hills. Be sure to catch us on, drum roll,
Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your mobile device on iOS or Android.
basically everywhere.
Anywhere you want to be. We're like Visa.
Yeah, that's right. See you tomorrow.